guys, welcome to the first episode of the Baby Mothers podcast, aka Baby Mum, aka BM, aka
mother of your child,
aka your ex, your girlfriend, whatever you want to call it. But thank you for joining us. We are the sister show to the Baby Fathers. I hope you've been tuning in and watching them guys. We respect their opinions. We don't always agree with it, but we respect it. But we thought it's about time we let some mums jump on and basically speak sense. Speak truth.
Yeah. Talk up the team.
Talk up the team. So my name's Shells. I'm your host. Just to introduce myself, I'm in my 30s. I've got one child, a daughter. She's 7. That's about all I can cope with. And I tell you, and I've been broken up with her dad for about 4 years. So that's just a bit of my background. And let me introduce you to my guest today. I've got 2 guests. So this is Tamsin. Tamsin, introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I am Tamsin. I'm a mother of 3 children. I have a 16-year-old, a 14-year-old, and a 3-year-old, soon to be 4-year-old. And yeah, I'm not with the older 2's dad. I am with my youngest one though. So yeah.
Good for you. And this is Lavon.
Hi.
Tell us about yourself, Lavon.
So I am 28. I have a daughter. She is 4. I was never with my baby partner. No, joking.
Drink.
Yeah, we broke up before she was born, really. So.
All right. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's start with that then. How did that go?
So we got together in like uni, and I feel like uni is like fake. So it's not like your real life. Do you know what I mean? Because you know their friends, they know your friends, so you feel like you know the person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we wasn't together very long. We didn't decide. Found out I was pregnant. Decided to have her. Yeah, so it's just been a lot of I'd say back and forth, but not really. Like, it's hard. I feel like we're still trying to get to know each other and raise a child at the same time.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
right.
And because we had her quite young, I feel like you don't know yourself at that point. So you're trying to figure out you're trying to figure out being a parent, you're trying to figure out them. Like,
Okay, so let me ask you this. How did he react when you found out you were pregnant?
we were both like, no, not a chance in hell. Because, yeah, I was on like the pill and stuff, so I just felt like, yeah, this is not really happening. It's just, this is fake.
Okay.
And then we saw her on a scan, and I was like, yeah, I'm not a murderer. Like, I can't now not have a child. And yeah, so we decided then to have her. I feel like it was the best decision of my life.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing he feels the same in terms of having her. In terms of having her with me, that's a whole different. That's a whole different thing.
So let me ask you: Have you since she's been born, have you ever been in a relationship?
No.
No. Okay. And how are you currently getting on?
I feel like, do you ever actually get on with your baby father? Do you know what I mean?
Sometimes you can.
There are better times.
Yeah.
And there are worse times. This ain't a good time.
Okay. Have you ever been in a good space with him? Like, you're communicating well. He sees his daughter.
He sees her, so it's not a thing where he doesn't see her. He does see her. He has his we have that whole situation patterned now, which is good. I feel like it works better that way though, that we're not pally. Because I feel like when we are pally, I feel like boundaries get crossed.
Like blurred lines.
Yeah, and then you start to get a bit like, are we friends? Are we doing this? Are we not? Do you know what I mean? So it becomes difficult, I think.
So you mentioned it's better when you're not like too pally, like mixed signals. What do you mean by that?
I just feel like sometimes, because you've had a kid with them, it's easy to kind of go back to how like you was before. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't, like, you kind of then start like busting joke that like you probably wouldn't bust with, like, do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Are you basically talking about sleeping together? Because I feel like that's what pally means. It's AKA
when the lines get...
You could get there. I feel like if it was like a late night, you had enough drink.
Yeah.
I feel like that it could happen. Not that you want it to happen. Do you know what I mean? Because in the back of your head, you're like, this is gonna like fuck everything. Like, it's not. We're not going back to normal if that does happen. But at the same time, I feel like it's just easy because you know that person. Like, you've had a child with them.
True.
Yeah, it's familiarity, isn't it?
Yeah, true. I think people do say like that baby mums and baby fathers like can always sleep together. Like, if I met a guy or something, for instance, he would want to know like who my baby father is. Not who he is, but like how long you be breaking up. Because it's like they always think.
Yeah.
And not even from women, because you know us, we're like, no, I'm done. But I swear men always think that they can sleep with their baby mum.
I think it's like a sense of control on their part.
Yeah.
Maybe not control, maybe possession.
Yeah.
Almost like you were my woman, you've had my child, so I can
get you again.
Yeah, I can get you if I want
I
you.
think especially if it's their first child, I feel like, because then it's kind of more. If you're like baby mum number 3, like you could maybe get it on a Sunday if you was born. I feel like baby mum number 1, like she's definitely secure.
It's true. I think they'd have an issue actually, like, you know, when you meet someone else.
Yeah, definitely.
That would be an issue.
Oh, don't even get me started.
What?
That is that. When I broke up with the father of my child, because I hate with a passion, as you could tell, the terms baby father, baby mama. I hate it.
What do you say then? Like,
I just say my ex or the kid's dad, or
I say my daughter's dad, because I don't want to say my ex, because you're not my ex.
Yeah.
Like,
but they are your ex.
No, because you're not my
not
last
really.
person. So you're not my ex. Like, you're not my ex.
Yeah, but you can have multiple exes.
Well, I never call him that. I'm sorry, I like to detach. I call him my daughter's dad. No, honestly, I've got a
She
title.
said detach.
You're related to my child.
Cut all ties.
100%. But go on, no, what was you saying?
No, I think like, what was I saying?
About when you got with someone new.
Right. So we broke up and the kids were, I think Yanis was 1. So my son was 1 and my daughter was 3.
That's young.
So they were babies still. They were still very, very young. And he had a girlfriend. Like, I was seeing people, talking to people, mostly out of boredom and, you know, company and that kind of stuff. But I didn't have a relationship. He was seeing a girl and she became very much involved in our business.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Excuse me?
And I mean, not by my choice.
No,
Not by
that's
my
what I'm saying.
choice, but
Where's she going, though?
I would get phone calls, or you know what?
From
you know
who? Her?
So the start was the first start of this. Get a drink, girl. The first start of it was, you know, when they're in the background and they're making up noise, you know, talking loud,
Zero respect.
making themselves known that they're in the background, and I'm like, this is when I was say 23, 24, so I'm still young, yeah, and I've got 2 babies. And my relationship that I thought was going to be marriage has broken down. So I was hurt. Like, when I look back at it now, I was still hurt. It was still fresh. It was still raw. My babies were babies. Yeah. I was getting over a lot. I just started uni. And my life was hectic, stressful, back to back every day. And then my communication with him was regular, constant. The kids were still little, so he would call all the time. He had them all the time. And so, like, phone calls that I would have with him, she'd be making her presence known in the background. And I noticed a pattern. After some time, I was like, okay, cool. This girl wants to make her presence known. But I already knew about her because he had told me about her. And obviously it got to, he's bringing her around the kids. I was not comfortable with that initially. And I guess it came from a place of, I didn't know how he was going to be behaving with her around them. I've only known him in my kind of and our family's situation. So there was a bit of like hesitancy of, you know, how is everything going to be panning out when they're all together in the same company? And also how my children going to deal with that and manage that and understand it and make sense of it all. So anyway, she's making up noise in the background. Every time I'm speaking to him, always say something, oh babe, where's this? Or, oh babe, we're gonna go now, come on, hurry up. You know, like unnecessary bullshit. And I'm like, okay. So I noticed a pattern, so I bring it to him. So I'm like, look, I don't have no issues with you being with somebody else.
But I do have gonna sound though.
I do have issues. I know, of course not.
To him, he's gonna be like,
I don't care.
She's jealous.
Yeah. And I think he kind of loved that.
Yeah, she's jealous. She wants
and
me.
obviously that's the narrative that they both ran with. But I'm coming on a tip like, these are my kids, yeah? There ain't no one else in the world that's gonna love and protect these kids like I will. Now, yeah, you're the dad, but I'm the mum. Yeah. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're with me every day. I'm the one that deals with their emotions and all that kind of stuff. So I'm the boss here. So I don't know why she wants to make herself known in the background. Can you reassure your girlfriend that it ain't that? Because clearly there seems to be some insecurity there.
Yeah.
But that goes without saying, because I'm thinking in my head as you're telling the story, would I want to date a guy who has 2 kids? One is 1 and 1 is 3. No.
Yeah.
One? You must have been with your baby mum the other day.
Literally.
Like, I'm not gonna, like, that's one of the
yeah.
first questions I asked when I
Well,
meet
it
someone.
obviously turned out that there was a crossover.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there was a crossover. But, like, look, we were done anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah? Where the crossover happened was when I've now decided no.
Yeah, no more.
Yeah. So the blurred lines of the sleeping with each other, but you're not together, and you're coming back and you're trying for a bit, and then it don't work out, and then you're sleeping with each other, and then you're arguing, and all of that shit. I had all of that shit going on. But I never entered a relationship with anybody else because of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, because that's not fair on them.
It's not fair. It's not fair on anyone.
As you can imagine, that's why now she was acting the way she was acting, because
She knew that he loved me. Simple
Yeah.
facts. So, look, it's funny because I saw her at a family wedding, and they were friends and their families know each other, and anyway, she was at this wedding. The wedding was massive, yeah? It was a big African wedding. So it wasn't like, what's she doing here kind of thing. It was like, oh, she's here. And she was, oh, hi. Da, 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 da,
Was she still
cordial.
Was she not with him no more?
No, she's not with him. She's got her own 2 kids
got
now.
She's moved on.
She's got her own
She's
2
living her life.
children. She's got her own partner, her own dramas and her own life that she's dealing with. And, you know, she was like pleasant, friendly, like, oh, hi, Tamsin, how are you? How are the kids? Da, 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 all of that. Yeah. So, but when it was all kicking off, so it started with the noises in the background. Then it got to, the levels went up, yeah? It went up and up and up. I'll get to the best bit in a minute. So it got to her messaging me.
She messaged you. Why she got your number?
How did she get my number?
Why she got your number?
That's the first thing. How did you get my number? So things started to come out when they were having arguments. He would come and talk to me, yeah? And he would tell me certain things, and I'd be like, well, why are you allowing... Da, 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 da. So he's going back and forth, telling her what she wants to hear, and probably coming to me, telling me what he thinks I want to hear. But I'm not interested in your relationship or how it's working or how it's not working. Yeah. Let's just deal with the kids. But like you said, you know, with when you've got a ex or baby father, there's that blurred line sometimes of being pally and friendly.
Well, I think that's what I'm saying with pally, because I'm not understanding what you lot are saying.
Yeah, because your situation is different,
there's no
isn't
pally.
it? Yeah.
No, I'm just saying there's no pally. He could never come and talk to me about
anything.
He definitely couldn't talk to me about a relationship, but he couldn't even talk to me about his
the
family, the weather. Like, you can't. I'm not that person. We stop at the door.
Yeah.
Like, give him, thank you, bye. Like, so I'm saying, when you're saying like he would talk to me, I'm like, talk when?
In my experience, I think it's more age. I was young. Yeah. Now, if that situation occurred now, the boundaries would be set. I would be confident in myself. I'd be confident in my boundaries, and I would keep it kind of like that. Friendly, cool, nice, polite, but bye. See you later.
Is it because somewhere in the back of your mind, maybe you still do love them, and maybe
yeah,
you still
100%.
do you know what I mean? Like,
No,
maybe
not there.
Okay.
I'm just thinking, like, maybe you're like, maybe the relationship could work.
I'll be honest.
Every time
It took me a good 3 years, babe.
There you go.
3 years. I'll be honest. Not because I still loved him, like I wanted to be in a relationship with him, but 3 years to really get over the relationship, the misunderstandings, the conflict, the unnecessary conflicts, the dumb arguments, the dumb conversations, the palliness. Like, it took me a good while to register, this is over. This is your life as a single parent now. You got to do the best you got to do, and like, that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. Took me a long time.
Okay,
but
so like I said, so she's getting louder. She started messaging. What did she start saying when she's messaging you?
To be honest with you, babe, I can't even remember. I can't even remember everything. But it would be initially about the kids, but she's slipping something about him.
That will burn me.
Then she started to ask me questions about have I said and have I done and have I whatever. So then we're arguing now. But in between all of these messages and stuff, I went on a kind of women's retreat with a church that I was going to at the time. And I wanted him to look after the kids. He was looking after the kids. And I said to him, look, because they're still young, I'm going to leave you the key so that if you need to, come and grab some bits for them, clothes, whatnot.
Yeah.
They were staying at his house, but I said, here's the key in case of an emergency. Yeah? So I've come back now. Me and him is on good terms. I've written him a letter while I was there. That was one of the things that we were there for, to heal. And I wrote him a letter saying, look, nothing, no love letter, just a letter to say, I'm happy that we are where we are. We're cordial. I want to apologise for my part in all the crap and bullshit we've been through. Let's move forward and let's be adult about co-parenting our children. Yeah. So I don't know if she saw this letter, but he was really appreciative of it. He was really happy. We had some really good conversations after that about the kids and about, you know, just healing and moving forward and being grown about things. And I don't know what was going on with them, but they obviously were rocky because I then started to get phone calls from her. One of the phone calls was, when you was away, we took the kids back to your house and then we fucked in your bed.
Wait.
I told you the best bit was coming.
Like, was she joking though?
No,
I
no,
feel like
no.
she would have had to have been joking because there's no way he could like.
Oh really? I wouldn't put anything past a man for a
Yeah,
start
true.
because
That is very
see a
true.
man, yeah, rather than them think, oh, that's a disrespect. They more think, well, I went to the house because I was getting stuff for the kids, and then when I was there, I got hard, or she put it on
What
me.
did you look at in my house that made you hard?
No,
like,
it's
this is what I need to know.
Pictures of me, bitch.
So, like,
What
so do you
triggered
think
that?
that happened? Like that really happened, or do you think she was saying it?
I think she just said it.
Yeah.
Obviously, he denied it.
Yeah. But
like
the point is, once
profusely.
they've said it,
It's in your head now.
and remember you said you was how old?
23, 24.
See the 23-year-old me.
I ain't finished.
Let's see. How did you do with this?
So, no, I'll tell a lie. It wasn't a phone call. That was a text message that I got.
Okay.
So I've read this message now. Oh, my blood was boiling. My brother was at my house at the time when I was reading the messages, yeah? And I was like, right. I didn't drive at the time. I did drive, but I didn't have a car at the time. And so I was like, babe, I need your keys. She was like, what? I was like, I need your keys. She was like, what? What's happening? I'm like, babe, I need your keys. I'm going to take your car to his house because someone needs to get put in a grave. Yeah? She was like, nah. I went upstairs. This is how long ago it was. I went upstairs. I put on a velour tracksuit. My trainers, I took out my earrings, I tied up my hair, I put my Vaseline on, and I got in the car and I drove to the house. Now, at the time, he was living at his mum's house with his sister, his brother, and her.
That's where he was going for the beef to his mum's house.
The mum was
no,
the mum was abroad. Yeah, the mum was abroad.
Limits.
The mum was abroad, but the rest of them lot was there, and it was like maybe 10, 11, maybe midnight. Them times of the night. But what I had done, I had put the kids to bed. I was seething. So for them 2 hours or whatever it was that I didn't leave the house, I'm getting more and more and more mad. And not even at the fact that, did this really happen or not? But more of the fact that you've got the audacity to message my phone, with my 2 small children. No empathy for me whatsoever. Just, I ain't done you nothing. I ain't slept with your man. I ain't come at you in no way. I'm just living my life, doing my thing. Now, it just made me think, what the fuck has he been saying to her about me? That was the first thing. So I was vexed with him, but then I was also vexed, like, nah, this bitch, she needs to get her wig dragged off. So anyway, I'm driving now. I'm playing some rap music. I don't listen to no rap music. Yeah, I'm listening to some rap music. I'm driving down the fucking A406 like, and at the time there weren't no average speed checks. So I'm booming down that motorway. Anyway, I get there now. Park up the car.
No, you went there, you know.
I went there.
Actually went. I thought you was going to be like, change my mind.
Me.
Friends that would be like, let's go.
Yeah, my friend wanted to come, but I needed her to stay there to watch the
So
kids.
you went on your ones?
Yeah.
Because obviously that's what I'm saying.
But you know the business. I don't care. I'm coming for you. You can't fucking message me. You fucked my ex in my bed. Not even on my sofa, you know. Not even on the floor.
After you pay your good rent, you know, for your house, yeah.
And he ain't contributing.
That's what I'm saying,
Like, don't.
Right.
Anyway, I was
So you get there.
I was so mad. Anyway, I bang it down the door. Because everybody is in bed, so it might have been 11 midnight. But the lights are off. So I've gone up the stairs. I'm at the door. I'm waiting. They could obviously see it's me. So his sister opens the door first. Because he's a heavy sleeper. He's a heavy sleeper. So if he was asleep, then he didn't hear nothing. So the sister opened the door. And I'm like, okay. Waiting at this door. She goes, Tam, what are you doing here? I was like, hi. Get that girl. She's like, these are church-going sisters, yeah? Lovely, beautiful, calm, collected kind of people. And I'm trying to change my life, innit? I'm trying to move on with my life. I'm trying to get better. And I'm just at this door literally like a bull in a china shop. Open the door. So he's obviously heard me now. I'm like, open the door. I don't want to say names, but like, open the door, let me in. She was like, no, what are you going to do? What's going to happen? At the door, not letting me in, yeah? So I'm like, I'll just wait then. I'll wait until the morning. I'll wait until this bitch has to leave the house at some point, yeah? So I'll wait. So she's like, no, just go home, Tam, just go home. We can sort this out tomorrow. I was like, listen, it's getting sorted. I've already waited 2 hours to sort this shit out. Let me show you the message. I showed her the message. She was like, I said, right. So now I open the door. So by this point, he's heard and come to the door. So what the fuck are you doing here? Starts going off on me. And I'm like, where is she? Get her! Oh! I could see her in the door. She's in the house. So I'm like, I could see her. So how their house was, so you open the door and there's a corridor which takes you to a right turning, but at the end of the corridor is the staircase that goes up. I could see her come down and she sat at the bottom of the stairs like a right little pussy hole.
Just listening.
Letting
her man be the bodyguard.
So I showed him the messages. He's there trying to push me out. My foot's in the door. I ain't letting that door close. My foot's in the door like bailiff, yeah? And I am not letting that door close. Eventually, after beefing with him, not physical, but like arguing with him, going backwards and forwards, he was like, I'm so sorry. Look, just go. I'll speak to her. This ain't happening outside the house. The police, someone's going to call the police. Come on. He's trying to reason with me now. And I'm just like, this ain't you, Tamsin. This is not you.
Yeah.
This bitch has got you to this point. It's almost like God was looking down on me, shone a light and reminded me of who I was. Yeah. And I thought, you know what? Now she has seen, yeah,
what you're on?
What I'm on. I've come in on my ones and my light green mint velour tracksuit to come fuck up your ass. And I would have done it. Yeah. Happily.
Yeah.
So before I left, I said, you see, you little bitch, yeah? I will get you. Anyway. So I've gone about with this. I've gone home. I thought, right. He was like, I would never do that. Don't believe that. Da, da, da. Me and her's argue. He's telling me again. Me and her's arguing. Just ignore her. Da, da, da. Obviously, that's caused beef between them now. I heard from him like a couple of days later. Can't even remember all the details now. This is obviously years ago.
Yeah.
But that memory sticks in my head so much because it made me realise that when your emotions are so high and someone says something, the power of words is serious.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah,
serious.
100%.
And when you're arguing with somebody, they will say whatever they can because obviously all this time she's messaging me, she's not getting a rise out of me. She's not getting any attention from me.
She would have said whatever to find the right button. And I think it's important what you're saying about the age that you were.
100%.
And, like I said, and the age of your kids.
Yeah.
I feel like
it was still raw.
It's still raw.
That's what it was.
It's still raw. I can only speak from a place of it's been 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, I'm in a good place.
Yeah.
Like I've had to do some healing.
Yeah.
So, you know,
you're grown.
I'm grown.
You're a grown woman.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm gonna turn back like, at the right time. No, I'm just saying, like, I speak the talk and like I'm good on, you know, most days.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's difficult to ignore certain words when certain emotions.
It is, yeah.
You know, but so I can only imagine, like, I'm glad that I never had a child when I was that young because, like I said, there would be they would.
I remember what you was like when we was young.
Do you know what I mean? They just would
Yeah.
be no, and that's one of the reasons, like, say, like a young guy, if he's trying to date me, so I'm like, no, I'm not interested, because I need someone who is mature,
Yeah.
because
The games.
This is just because think about the place that you're in now. It's because of all the stuff that you already went through, like the relationship
100%.
you're in now.
Yeah,
that's
100%.
working on a certain level.
Yeah.
Because you already went through. Do you know what I mean? So like for you, Lavon, like obviously this is your first child and she's 4.
Yeah.
So you're still going to be experiencing some of them first.
Them raw
Some of them
feelings.
raw-
Yeah.
Like
I feel like I've not had him like an ex that he's with. Like, he had a girlfriend and apparently she called me a bad mum, and that came to me through the grate. And I feel like them things, I was a bit like, I don't mind if you think anything of me, if you think I'm trying to get back with him or he's telling you a bunch of shit, like, that's fine. Bad mum, though. I just feel like
Where'd you get that from?
yeah, where did you hear that?
And
Like,
this is my thing is, she must have heard it from you, because there's no way she's just gonna wake up one morning and be like, do you know what, his baby mum's a bad mum. Like, she's just like, she wasn't ever around my child. He wasn't even around my child at the time. So it just felt like, where do they? It's
Chatty batty men.
Yeah.
That's where that shit comes from.
Like, where
Chatty.
do they get these things from? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, why? What's the hatred towards me that makes you feel like you need to be telling me about myself, or you need to be checking me on my baby? Like, if he's with you, he's with you. Like, be happy about it. Like, congratulations. Like, it's your time to go through hell. I'm good. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Your turn, bitch.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, have him.
okay, I just want to touch on where you said there was a time where he wasn't seeing your daughter.
Yeah.
What? Like, how did that happen?
I feel like we argued. Like, to be fair, like throughout her life so far, like there's been a lot of inconsistency, and I feel like as a mum, you almost try to like eliminate your childhood trauma in your child. So I feel like where he would sometimes be really unreliable, or like he would like pick and choose days, or he'd come around for like a couple hours and then disappear, and I'd see how devastated she was that he wasn't there till she was going to bed or whatever. Like, I think I would bring it up, but I feel like with like your like child's dad, like when you bring up certain things, it's you're just bitching, why are you nagging, and it's like, no, I'm just trying to make sure my child has a good relationship with you where she's not being let down. So I think it was like it went on for a while where it was just constant. Like, he would come when he wanted, and he would like leave whenever, even if he just came for like an hour. Like, to him, it's I showed up though, so what's the problem?
And did you always let him come? Like, did you?
Yeah, because I always just felt like I don't want to be the reason you don't have a relationship. I don't want it to be, oh well, to be fair, they say it anyways, like, oh yeah, you stopped me, but I just felt like I didn't want that to be the main reason. Like, I didn't want her to grow up and be like, oh yeah, well, my dad said that you didn't let him see me for like 5 years. Like, do you know what I mean? Because I feel like to a certain extent, you can't. What reasoning do you always have? Do you know what I mean? Like,
but I feel like mums, you know, most good mums, I feel like that's how they feel. So dads almost get away with it because, like you said, we don't want to be the reason. So we will always accommodate. Do you know what I mean? Let them, like you said, let him pick his days. Let him pick how long for, because we don't want to be that person. But when do we just say no? Like, what you're doing is not good enough. So did he ever go a period of time without seeing her at all?
Yeah, for like a year.
Really?
Yeah. It was like quite a long.
Wow.
To me,
how did you do that?
I think, I know, like, I get that baby father's always like, oh yeah, like, the mum didn't let me see your child. And I just feel like there is no reasonable reason why I would just stop you from seeing your child. That means I don't get a break. I don't get help. I don't, do you know what I mean? Like, all the things I need in order to be a good parent, I'm not getting any of that. And yeah, you do have your family, but my mum didn't make my child with me. So my mum shouldn't be my sole childcare. Like, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? So I was just very much like, okay, well, if he wanted to try, he could try. Do you know what I mean? I have the same Instagram, Snapchat. Like, I live in the same house. I have the same number. My mum has the same number. You have enough avenues to make an effort.
So did he literally stop trying?
He claimed he tried. I feel like I don't know where you would have been.
When was that?
Yeah, like, where did these messages come from? You could have sent a carrier pigeon, for fuck's sake. Like, do you know what I mean? You could have wrote a letter. Like, we could have done anything. Do you know what I mean? If you really wanted to, you could have, like, DM'd me on Instagram if you really felt like I was stopping you. Yeah. You could have made more. You could have showed up at my house. Like,
and so how did you feel at the time? Like, because I'm thinking like 2 months, you ain't seen her. 4
so
months.
First,
how did you feel?
I feel like for me, at first it was really hard because I felt like guilty all the time. Like I felt like, oh, like she's not seen him. But then also I felt like, why am I reaching out to you? Like this makes no sense. This is your child too. So you should be like, okay, 2 weeks have gone by. Like I want to see my child now. So can we sort something out? Can we talk? Can we discuss it better? Can we sort out a sketch? There was never nothing. It was just, I would hear from people and they'd be like, oh yeah, he said that you don't let him see her. And I'd just be like, well, he's not tried to see her. So how do
you know how many times I've heard this similar scenario with my friends and their friends? And
yeah, I feel like it's so common, it almost seems normal now. I feel like they just say it. Like they haven't seen their child for a weekend. Like, oh yeah, she didn't let me see her. No, you could have come. You just didn't want to because it wasn't in your time. It wasn't when you wanted to do it. It wasn't, you weren't just going off your own schedule. But then like later, at first, like I didn't hear from him. We just went our separate ways. I lived my life, took care of my child, whatever. And then I think like around Carnival came and like one of my friends must have said to me like, oh, he's got a girlfriend. And I was just like, oh, okay, so this is why you're not bothering. Not because it's just because you're out living your life. I got told, you know, like it feels like all the information starts coming from different angles. And I was like people are like, yeah, he's been on holiday with her. Yeah, he's doing it. And I was like, you don't help me at all. Yeah. But this is what you're doing. Okay. And then it would constantly be, oh yeah, but she doesn't let me see her. But I mean, that holiday money.
I'm about to say, so all this time was he not paying any money? Because you know that's the one that Dad say.
They're not seeing. I'm not seeing them.
Yeah, I don't see. Yeah, so you go service to them. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, like your child is basically the top up card. Yeah. Like so when you pay, 100%. You can see him. And you just pay as you go. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
So, okay, so he's not paying and he hasn't seen her. How did that change? Like,
I think he randomly had like a come to Jesus moment. So I think. I can't even remember how it happened, but he messaged and I was like, yeah, that's fine. Let's set up a schedule. Let's figure out times, days. We'll make this work. And then, yeah, from there, it just snowballed because then he was being like super nice. And I feel like whenever he gets super nice, I get super cautious because I'm like, something's up. Like, you're going to hit me with something dumb.
What do you want?
Or, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Or it's going to be, for custody of my child just on a whim. Like, so I was so nervous about like being friendly. I was almost like very reserved about it, and then he was like, no, like I genuinely just want to be there, I just want to try it. So I was like, okay, cool, like let's do that.
Was he still with the girlfriend at this point?
Yeah, but we never spoke about it. Like I would never ask him about his relationships. I don't feel like that's my place. I don't feel like I need to. It's none of my business.
And don't give them no reason to say that you're jealous or you're this or that as well.
So we met up, we went to like a soft play. He was like talking about, at the time I think I just split up with someone I was like seeing, and he was like going on about, and I was like, yeah, I'm happy for you. If you're happy, I'm happy. If she wants to know my child's shoe size and buy clothes, I'll give it to you. I can send you. Do you know what I mean? I have no problem. If she's a nice person, do you know what I mean? Like, we're good. Yeah. So, yeah, he was talking about marrying her, and I was like, sounds amazing. So, I'm great. I'm here for it.
How did you feel, though?
I think because we hadn't been together for so long, it didn't bother me like that. I feel like what did start to bother me is when he was talking about all the things he was doing for her, and I felt like, raw, but I had a whole kid by you and you couldn't do them things then. But now you're happily just like, yeah, I stay home. Yeah, I don't really go out with my friends no more. Yeah, like my relationship is the priority.
Do you feel like he was saying that to get a rise out of you or to make you jealous or?
Maybe, but I feel like I'm one of them people, like, you would never know how I feel from the outside. Like, I'm not about to be here, crying about it in front of you. Do you know what I mean? So when he's saying that, I'm just like, in my head, I'm like, raw, like, you couldn't have stepped up and I pushed out a whole child. Like, you watched me give birth and that didn't make you want to be a better person, but this person has made you want to do that. Okay, cool.
Do you think that by having a child that would have brought you closer?
I think so. I think at first I did think it would change things. I do remember, like, there was times where I'd say to him, like, if our daughter gets to a year and nothing has changed, I'm not doing this past a year. Like, we're not doing this constant back and forth. I'm not going to be like, I'm not going to have a boyfriend. I'm going to live my life. Like,
the thing is, I think a lot of people, especially when it's their first child, they do think that a baby will bring them closer together. Whereas
that's why I asked, because
speaking from experience, like say, like if I got with someone now and we had a child, I would be thinking the exact opposite.
Yep.
I would literally be thinking, oh my God, this is about to be a huge test. Can we survive? Because it does not bring you closer together. It brings exhaustion and annoyance,
routine,
and frustration and boredom,
boringness.
And that's what, like, it's a I'm sorry to burst the bubble for people that don't have kids
No, it's so
and that are,
true.
you know, waiting for this dream and but it's literally the opposite. And I feel like if you are able to make it through that first year to like, then you're not good. Like, you lot have survived.
Yeah.
And you know, because you have to change your relationship, it's going to be a more boring relationship, a more routine relationship.
Especially your hormones. I feel like your hormones are everywhere
Yeah.
in the first year. So little things that, like, there'd be times we would have an argument, and in my head I'd be like, Lavon, shut up. Like, just like, stop talking now.
I hope you never admitted that.
No,
because there's all times. You know, as women, we know there's plenty of times where it's like, you are acting.
Do you know what I mean?
You are acting crazy. You're acting irrational. That's fine. I'm gonna talk that. My friend's gonna tell me.
Yeah, for real.
But to you, my friend, I'm still gonna have to act like you're in the wrong.
I would say stuff and I'd be like, wow, you went there. I would box you at this point. But it's like your mouth just can't stop it. So I just feel like, how I feel like you violated, I'm gonna do exactly that times 10 now, because I just feel like I've given birth to a whole child. I put my life on the line for our child. And now you want to be here being disrespectful. I'm going to be twice as disrespectful. You will hear how I feel, even if it's not warranted. Like, I will talk about everything. Nothing is off limits because I'm sad. So you're going to be sad.
Do you guys feel like when you have a child with someone and, well, maybe not in your situation because you don't do the blurred lines thing, but do you feel like when the lines are blurred, you're so consumed by not being in a relationship or thinking about this potential relationship with this person that is what makes you irrational or chat shit or act up or whatever? Do you get what I mean? Mm-hmm. Do you feel like that consumes you? Because you said after a year, if we're still doing this shit, then I'm just going to cut off and live my life, because you're there being faithful, looking after the child 24/7. But you're still playing games.
It's so much easier for the mums to be faithful. Like, it's by default.
Yeah,
it's not like we said, I want to be faithful. Yeah. What you said is, I'm at home with a child, tired, body still, recovering.
Milk coming out your tits.
I can't physically be out looking next man because I'm tired. Obviously, you went like a year without seeing your daughter, and then when he was ready, he approached you, like he come back. I just want to give you credit for like accepting that and like letting him back in, because I feel like you would have had a place to say no. Yeah. You can't come back because this is what you've done. Yeah. But again, like you said, no matter what he's done and how long he's been gone, if you had acted like that, certain people might look at you and be like, you're in the wrong. Yeah. You're stopping him. Mm-hmm. But how many times can you just
keep accepting
shit
for your child
and being the bigger person?
It's so frustrating as well. Do you know, like, when you like see certain comments on like Instagram and stuff, and people are like, there's no reason to stop her dad from seeing their child, and I feel like, I mean, there is loads of reasons. Because it's not so much like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's only if the dad's being abusive but I just feel like you are creating trauma in a child by consistently letting them down. Especially when, as a mum, I would do everything in my power to make sure my child never feels let down, hurt. Like, if she asks me for something on Monday and I say Friday, even if I have to go and bloody sell my vagina to get it, like, you will get it on Friday because I said Friday. It will happen 100%. Because you don't want it. But I feel like sometimes with dads, it's easy to be like, oh, no, I can't come. Like, and it's almost like they just expect the child to just accept it now. Like, it's just, okay,
and
well,
I think too many people, I think when you compare that, say a dad is never there, suddenly if he is going to be there sometimes and show up sometimes, you might be grateful for that. Like, you're grateful because, like you said, you're thinking about the best interest of your child. So you're like, I want my child to have a dad. I want him to be in the life. So that's where people are like, yeah, but he does come. And just accept him for what he is.
Oh,
and
let's just
if he
congratulate fishes for swimming now.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah.
But that's the same. Like, I feel like as mums, we're never really allowed to say no.
This is not okay.
It's not good enough. Like you said, unless because somebody wants to know, are they abusive? Like, what did they really do? How about it's just not good enough? Yeah. How about it's just not?
It's not acceptable how he behaves.
And I've got to deal with my child being upset, being disappointed, bloody blah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and it's hard. It's hard to watch your child cry and you can't control it.
Yeah.
Because it's not something,
Yeah.
people were like, if he did leave and she would like be crying at the door, she'd be throwing herself down on the floor. Because now she's like worked herself up so much. And what am I going to say to him? Oh no, you need to stay and put her to bed. Because I feel like in their head, it's automatically, oh, she just wants me to stay so we can smash. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not, it's not just put your kid to bed and go. Like, I will stand by the door if it makes you feel better. Do you know what I mean? But it's just I feel like anytime you're like even a little bit nice, or you're like trying to be forgiving, or a little bit too, it's automatic, yeah, she wants me. And it's like, no one wants you around here. Like, just, I want you to do your job as a dad. That's it. Like, when you're ready to go. When you like, do you know what I mean? But we shouldn't have to always be at war with each other.
Yeah, they can
like,
be
I should be
another-
able to be nice to you without you thinking, yeah, she just wants to like get me in bed. She's trying to get me alone, or do you know what I mean? Like,
I think there's a line though, like when you're too nice, because I'm same as you. I've always kept the door open, all up until now. Like, we're cool now, we're civil, we're cordial, but it's taken, like, my kids are big teenagers now. One's year 11 about to leave school, and the other one's year 9 going into year 10 soon. And it's like the door's open, but the consistency ain't there.
Yeah.
Still now it isn't there. But I've just got to a point now, I'm like, my kids are old enough now to know consistency, respect that life is on a routine, and you have to get up on time, and you have to be at places on time, and you have to respect people's boundaries, all that kind of stuff. So when my kids are older now, they got their own phones. They can talk to him. They can not talk to him. They can tell him, you hurt me, you let me down. They can, you know, or whatever. You can say, Mum, I don't want to speak to him. I'm not answering the phone, whatever. Or, Mum, I want to see him. I'm at the point where I've left it to them.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I spent many years, similar to what you're saying, facilitating and over accommodating. My kids are little. I don't want them to grow up how I grew up. I don't want them to think, oh, daddy doesn't love me, daddy doesn't care, oh, it's mummy's fault, and la 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 la. Like, making sure, are you coming? We got a date on Saturday. He's supposed to be coming at 1:00. On the Monday, I'll call and say, oh, on Saturday, I'll make excuses
like
of,
PA,
on Saturday, do you get what I'm saying?
Personal
on
assistant.
And you know what it was? It was, again, another blurred line where when I was in a relationship with you and you were working and I was mostly at home or at uni or whatever, I'll be the one to make the plans. I'll be the one to say, right, on Saturday, you're going to do this because I'm doing blah, 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 blah. And then in the evening, we can come together or whatever. Or, you know, on Saturday, we're going to go Legoland. Or I'll be like, babe, what do you think of da-da-da-da-da? It will never really come from him. So that nurturing of making sure the kids have entertainment, they're educated, they're playing in the park, they're socialising with kids their age. And that was me. That was mostly me. And in our relationship, that dynamic was fine because I did certain things and I was good at that and vice versa. But I'm not in a relationship with you anymore. So guess what? This shit is down to you now.
Yeah, you're on your own.
But when that causes arguments because I'm not doing all of those things, it's like, but why is that on me?
Do you know that is what some fathers
Expect.
think? No, but you know that's what some fathers call spiteful.
Yeah.
So I touched on that one time before when I said, like you said, all that you was doing, all that organising, that PA shit. By not doing it, they will say you're, like I said, you're spiteful. So I'll give you one. I'll give you one example. The biggest baby father drama I ever had is that it was my daughter's birthday coming up, and like you said, in years when I was with her dad, I would always plan the birthday. Like I would literally not ask you, wouldn't even ask you, what we're doing for her birthday. Nothing. I'm already planning it. You know, as mums, you're thinking about it the month before. You know what your child likes. Like, you don't ask them. You know what your child likes. You know that this is what you're going to do. Planning it all. So me and him, we're not together. Her birthday's coming up. I'm planning it. This man rings me the day before her birthday. He didn't even ring me. Sorry. He texts me. The day before her birthday. Have you got anything planned for her birthday tomorrow? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Am I whatless? Because it's her birthday tomorrow.
Like, less than 24 hours, basically.
You think I've got nothing planned? Like, are you okay, right? Now, we're not on good terms, yeah? It's beefy. I don't like you.
Yeah.
You don't like me. So
I don't
like
want to
you
talk
said,
to you.
I'm just not willing to be nice. Like, because that's all it is. That's what it was. It's me being nice. I'm not willing to be nice. So you asked me a stupid question.
You get a stupid answer.
You get a stupid answer. So you said, have you got anything planned for your birthday tomorrow? I said, no. No. Because what are you going to do about that? It's your child's birthday tomorrow.
So now what?
I don't plan nothing. No. He said, can I come and... Oh, okay. Well, can I come and get her for a bit then? I just ignored the message. What about my business? No, I just went about my business. Next day comes, right? My child, she's turning, I think she'll turn like 6. Day of her birthday. The man don't ring to tell my child her birthday. Nothing. I take my child where I was going. I had plans. We was going ice skating. That's where she said she wanted to go. That's where we're going. I've got a friend, got a daughter. We're going ice skating. This man messaged me about, I kid you not, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm already in ice skating. I'm on the ice with my daughter celebrating her birthday. I get a message on my phone. He says,
I'm outside.
Can I come and get her for a bit? I just ignored the message. I'm ice skating. It's my daughter's birthday and I'm busy. I've already made the plans. I'm ice skating.
Why didn't you respond though?
Because I'm busy. I was on the ice.
No, come on. Let's be real now. Let's be real. If you could take the phone out your pocket to look at the screen, then you could take another minute to message and say fuck off.
Foolishness. That's what I'm saying. Because I don't want to message and say fuck off. I'm thinking, I haven't got time for this. I'm busy. Yeah. Carry on ice skating. He didn't see her on her birthday. That's how that ended up. He didn't see her on her birthday. He went around and told everyone that will listen that I stopped him from seeing her on his birthday. Hold on.
Wait. When he didn't respond, did he message or call back?
No. This is what I'm saying. I don't appreciate... Because hold on. How many times have you messaged one of your friends? Yeah, and they've not messaged back? What do? You call. I call you. You think I can message you and you don't message back? If I wanted to know something, if I had a question, even if it was something, even if it was, Tamsin.
Babe, I did it today. I messaged you. You didn't respond. Within an hour, I was like, right, let me call her.
It's a message back.
Because maybe she didn't see it.
Right, so this is what I'm saying. He went around, when I tell you, telling all the people that we knew together, all the mutual friends, were like, they were like, Sherelle, how could you do that? You didn't let him see her on his birthday. I said, didn't let? I'm not sure that's how it went. I said to him, did he ask me to see her? And I said, no. Did he come to my house, knock my door? And I said, you're not seeing. I said, he sent me a message and I was busy, so I didn't reply. I don't reply to a lot of people when I'm busy. It depends how much you want me. You need to call me back. But that's what he told everybody, blah, blah.
But let me play devil's advocate. Because you could have asked him. 100%. You could have answered him.
Like you said, this is what I'm saying.
You could have answered him from the day before.
But this is what I'm saying. See how you're saying, when you're playing nice and you're being the nice person and because what I could have done is messaged him the week before her birthday and said, her birthday's coming up next week. This is what I've got planned. Do you have anything planned? But this is what I'm saying. This is when things go smooth. When you take on that role and you go above and beyond. Because let me tell you, so for example, this year, that's what I done. Right? This year, because I'm saying, because we're in a better place and we had that beef and blah, blah, we discussed it and I moved on a year later. This year, week before her birthday's coming up next week. And I'm planning to do this.
I love the voice that you put on yourself.
What would you like to do with her? Yeah, literally, what would you like to do with her?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Seeing as you've got this plan, but what I'm saying is, how come I had to message you a week before? Yeah. How come I had to ask you?
Well, because he's the type of person to message you the day before.
The day before, but the day before ain't gonna get you nowhere because.
But this is the difference between mums and dads. Yeah, when you or not. Let's not generalize and say mums and dads, but more the parent that has the child with them, living with them, planning, the one taking them to school, giving them dinner, dealing with the crying, dealing with the whatever. That's the person that will think, right, in a month's time it's the birthday. Yeah,
because you can't.
What money do I need to put down for whatever it is you're gonna do?
Live spontaneously.
Right, you're living in a routine, right. And when the parent that doesn't live with the child, their concept of reality and concept of just parenting in general is completely different to ours, and this is why we beef, because my expectations of you as the dad should be the same as mine. You should prioritize your child. You should have in the calendar.
You don't have the headache every Monday to Friday. Yeah. You don't have the headache full stop. Because if your child is sick, I've got it. If your child needs anything, I've got it. Do you know what I mean?
But this is where out of sight, out of mind comes into it.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you're not with them, because your concept of reality, your day-to-day does not involve anything to do with a child. Yeah. So you don't deal with the picking up the clothes, making sure the uniform's done, making sure the gym kit is ready for Friday because they got swimming before, and you got to make sure there's enough towels, and you got to. They don't think about shit like that.
I dread the thought of like, say something happened to me. Say God forbid.
Oh my! I think about this all the time.
I always think about what would my child's life be like, because that's how you seem to be living. You're not. No, you're not. That's what I'm saying. Like, are you telling me you would have thought about her birthday the day before, and therefore what present could you have got? What plans could you have got? Because like you said, sometimes fathers want to sit up and talk their experience, and they will be telling you, I did call and I did text and I did go to the house and I did all that.
And they think it's enough. Right.
But this is what I'm saying. If you send me one text and I didn't reply, I'll be honest, I was in a relationship with you for 8 years. I know what you do if I don't reply to your message. Like, when I was your woman...
You rang me.
You rang me to see what I'm doing. So when he's telling people, like I said, don't get me wrong, looking back, and when I'm getting to a good place, that I can look back and say... You should have done better, Not because of him.
But for your child.
But for you and the person that you want to be. Like, do you know what I mean? I always want to be a good person. I always want to do the right thing. I can look back and say, you should have answered this message. Or, when you was finished ice skating, you should have rang him. Bloody, blah, right? But what I'm saying, I didn't appreciate at the time that you're telling people that I stopped you.
Yeah, because that's a lie.
You're using the word
that's not true,
But like you said, you did not... if you rang my phone and I ignored you, or you came to my house and you knocked my door, because that's what I hear some men saying. I hear some men say they knocked their woman's door down and she ain't answering. Don't put me in that category. All I did was stop babying you.
But that's perception, So your perception is, I'm not your PA. I'm not your woman. So it's down to you now to do what you need to do for your child, But his perception is, she ain't my woman. I'm not running her down. I've messaged her. She's seen my message. So she needs to get back to me now because I've reached out. So when a man says, I did my bit.
That's what they say.
I reached out, I communicated, and I never got a response. Their perception of that is, she stopped me.
100%.
But you're talking about a physical stopping of, you come to the door, and I'm like, bye, fuck you, and close the door. You're not seeing her. Like, that's a dramatic kind of like the end of the spectrum stopping.
So, what do you think about the dad should have his passport taken away if he's not paying? What do you think, Tam?
Do you want to go first?
No, I feel like go. I feel like
Come on, tell us.
Right, okay. On the surface, it sounds like a good idea, in that you've had a child and you are responsible for the child. However, there are certain situations when children come about and it's not an agreed thing. There's a lot of conflict between those two people because of how the child came. Some people might feel that they've been done a wrong because the child came.
They didn't want the child.
And they didn't want the child, And I've witnessed a number of people in my life over the years, from young until till now, where... the child comes and the mum is doing the thing and running it. And the dad is, I've said from when you found out and you came and told me, I did not want this child. We're not together. We were smashing and that was it. Like, I'm not involved here. Like, I'm not involved in your life. I don't really know you, blah, blah, blah. And the reason, like, I do agree that if you have a child, you should be responsible for them. Financially, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, everythingly. You should be in the child's life. You should be present. You should be accommodating. You should try your best to put your shit aside and put that child first, even when there's conflict with the other parent. And yes, I agree that if a dad, for example, is not 9 times out of 10, it is the dad, So I'll just generalize here. If the dad is not on paying and has gone 10, 20, 15 years of not paying for this child, but you can free willy-nilly go to Dubai and hold your bottles of champagne and get your rental of your Maserati and ride around.
That shit triggers me.
Have girls in the back bouncing their titties in the videos for Snapchat and Instagram. It does rile people up, because it's like, how are you living a life free, doing what you want to do when you want to do it, but your child has nothing from you, and the government are paying for that child, or subsidizing the mother's income to assist that child's well-being and making sure that child has everything that they need.
When you say government, the government is people.
Right.
That's us.
But also
That's
the
us.
taxpayer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So
us
the mum
paying
has
the
gone
money.
to work a full-time job, to struggle to rush to go pick up the child, to then come home and do dinner and bath and cappy and then bedtime, pay her taxes,
To get a little bit
which then circulates right back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I get that side of it, and I guess that's what most people will say. Yeah, I agree. I think it's a good thing. Yeah. And I've seen a lot of comments on, Instagram and whatnot, and that's what most people's stance is, and I agree with that. However, I think it's a bit deeper in that the government know what they're doing, and their family, the structure of family is under attack right now. Yeah. And yeah, not all of us are in a 2.4 family, and we might be co-parenting and we might have blended families and whatever. I'm one of them. Yeah. But also, we as people, especially black people, we need to be uniting right now. And where the government are attacking the family is they're taking money. They're locking our men up. They're locking up fathers for dumb shit. Yeah? And people are struggling. They're shipping people abroad. Kids are fatherless because the dad's gone abroad. He's been born here, but he's now been deported. Not because he was a criminal, but because of some legislation and some loophole, and we've managed to fuck them off. So I believe that this is another reason, another way, another tactic on top of the lockdowns, on top of our kids going to school and being targeted for behaviour issues and PRUs and centres and no social places for kids to play. I'm going off topic and I'm on a tangent, but I believe that, there's a hierarchy of life, and we're somewhere near the bottom, and these people are making decisions knowing that it will impact our mental health, impact our family structures, impact our children's mental health, fuck us up,
to keep us at the
keep
bottom.
us poor, keep us divided, and keep us a little slave and under control. And I'm not for that.
Yeah, I get
So-
I 100%. I get what you're saying, because I put a comment today on a post on Instagram where I said, one, yes, okay, cool, I do agree, like, take their passports, they can't go on holiday, like, because they need to pay. And then they also asking about, okay, what should you do to mums who don't let the dads see their thing? And I
saw
also
that.
said, yes, there should be some kind of consequence. And again, because I'm thinking on the whole, people shouldn't just be able to get away with stuff.
Yeah.
So the dad should just not be able to get away with not paying, and a mum should not just be able to get away with deciding something.
Using a child
if
as a
it's-
pawn.
Yeah, if it's not accurate. But I put at the end of that, however, I'm not 100% comfortable with the government stepping in and saying what is right, because I said in my thing, who is the government? Who are you? What experience do you have? What do you know about my life, about my situation? How can you let you? So just to say there's a blanket law, like, do you know what I mean? Because the same way
It's dangerous,
that's what I'm
because
saying, just to
even
say-
if, I don't know if either one of you have been through any court situations where you're battling for custody or access to a child, yeah? So when you apply for access, for example, to a court for a child, and you and the other parent are not getting on, and it's whatever, there's another like thing called CAFCAS, and this I don't know if they're a company or whatever they are like a mediator. So they bring you together, they get your side, they get the other parent's side, and if the child is old enough, they get the child's side of what they want to do to proceed with the court hearing.
Okay.
So even in the justice system, yeah, shit goes wrong. It doesn't go in favour of the child always. It doesn't go with what's best for the family.
Yeah.
So if you're now bringing in a blanket law, like you said, that is for everybody, and every single person's situation is completely different.
Yeah.
There's too many interlinking factors
Yeah.
that could get it wrong.
Yeah.
And who's going to lose?
Yeah,
The child.
Yeah. Well, the same way, like you said, like, we're not really, it's not like we're going to be big fans of the criminal justice system or the police. No, do you know what I mean? Like,
I get you. Yeah.
Like I said, in theory, when I first heard it, I'm like,
yeah.
the audacity. I'm thinking from the audacity, like you said, because what I said when I said it triggered me, like, I know my baby father, like, he's got money, he's got more money than me, he lives a certain lifestyle, he's got things that I don't have, but it's not about me, it's about my child. He's got things that my child don't have. He's got more expensive shoes and clothes than my child
then you get child maintenance.
Do you know what I mean? Like anything that she's got.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff where I'm hearing it, first of all, like you said, the thought of you going on holiday and living a glamorous, because first of all, if I was going to go on holiday, it's going to be a budget holiday. Like, I'm just saying, like, I'm going to go on holiday.
Be real, I'm
going to go to somewhere in Europe and I'm going to pick a budget
bucket
hotel
and spades
that I can afford. Because, like you said, because we're trying to give the kids an experience.
Yeah, exactly.
We still want to go.
Yeah.
So when I hear, like, the man's going on holiday and it's a glamorous holiday and, you know, you flew first class and your hotel's luxury and you got, like you said, you got the bottles, you got all that. That triggers me when I'm saying,
of course,
done that. Like, if you don't pay for your child.
But Brethren, why now?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Why in 2021, after a big pandemic of lockdown and all this type of shit, why now are you now bringing out, when single mothers have been single from fucking 60s, 70s, 80s?
Yeah, centuries.
Without getting a penny, a dime.
In America, have got their system of
unlock.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
do you know what it makes me think? The NHS is going to be gone. Benefits are going to be gone. Housing is going to be gone.
Because it's crashing.
Free schools are going to be gone. They are widening the gap for poor and rich. Once upon a time, flying was for the elite.
100%. I didn't go on holiday when I was young. I went to
Bognor. I went to fucking Southend or whatever.
Listen, my mum, single mum of 5 kids. You think we went on holiday? Like, because I know how much it costs now to take me and my daughter on holiday. That's me and you. Like, that's double. Do you know what I mean? That's double. Where much we? No, honestly, like.
Well, between me and my partner, there's 4 of us.
This is
4
what I'm
kids,
saying, right? You
and
know,
us.
even to go to a theme park.
Yeah.
Even to
go fucking Nando's, bro, we're spending over £100 for the 6 of us. So
100% flying was definitely for the elite. Like, my mum never took us on holiday. I never thought it was something. I didn't go on my first holiday till I was 20. It was a holiday that I paid for and I went with my friends.
So do you think that men, like, they expect you to come and say
that I need it?
I don't have right now. Yeah. We're struggling right now. I lost my job. For example, say I lost my job. I can pay my rent this month, but next month I don't know if I'm going to have a job by then, blah, blah, blah. It's like a man will... the men that I've met and what I've learned about men, I didn't have many men growing up, so I've always been like, what do you think? What do you do? Anyway, the men I've met, I'm like, they say to me, yeah, but why didn't she just say then?
If she asks, I give it.
Yeah. Always. But it's
why
like...
should we ask?
If you are a parent... Sorry, babe. But if you're a parent, would you not want to check in? Check in.
This is what I mean. Like, say, for example, with my daughter's like, when we're good, he'll ask. It'll be, do you have money for that?
You see.
Oh, do you need it? But when we're not, like... It's
Don't
literally
care.
like your child could be in a ditch somewhere. You're not going to ask me till it's time to pick her up on Saturday. But then it'll be, where's she?
And this is what I'm saying. This is where we're saying about the importance of communication. And like you said, when you're on good terms. Because, and this is where I've got to the point now where it's only, if it's going to benefit my child, then I don't care. Because like you said, that communication, when he's in a good mood, when he's caring, when you're in a good mood, when you're caring, all that does is make it better for your child.
Everybody.
Your child gets the best of everything. But the minute
you're beefing,
or you're fed up, or you just don't want to give as much, or you just don't want to give them all that does, like you said, is affect your child because you're not asking the questions.
Sometimes I feel like the men spite. They think that they're spiting you, but really, no, mate.
I feel like once you give a mum, like for example, like obviously I was saying my daughter's dad wasn't around for like a year, and the money has never been consistent. It's only become consistent. We started doing this whole CSA thing maybe around November, I'd say.
So really fresh.
And
wow.
you had to go down that route,
Yeah, so I never wanted
sometimes.
to. But this is the thing, I never wanted to. I was happy taking the bare minimum for him. Like, I was never the person to be like, you need to give me money for this. Like, if you don't want to give it, don't give it. Like, my child will always be good because I feel like I grew up watching my mum work and my nan work and provide. So I had like a very good life. You know what I mean? Like,
did you have men in your life growing up?
No, none.
Yeah.
So I feel like I never knew a man other than my granddad, but I never knew a man to be like
provide,
put food on the table. My nan, obviously my granddad isn't my blood granddad, so even though he was around and he'd help and he'd do whatever we needed, my nan was always on it. Like if we needed jumpers, my nan was like here. If I needed anything, my mum was like here. Do you know what I mean? Like we had holidays, so I always thought as a woman you're supposed to do that. You're supposed to. So
Sad,
I feel
though,
like
isn't it?
How did you get into this? How did you get to the CSA route then?
I feel like he listened to people who was just like, yeah, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it, you should do it. So he decided, he was like, I think you should go to CSA. And I was like,
wow,
I'm taking the bare minimum from you weekly. Do you know what I mean? Like,
because how did that end up for him?
I mean, he's screwed.
I was gonna say, has he got to pay more?
Because all I want to say is, if you smoke weed or whatever, he was literally giving me less money than he would probably spend on weed a week.
Right.
Like, so he was literally living his best life. And that's all I asked for. I was literally like, bare minimum, that's all I need. Every like week I can go. Yeah, he's now definitely paying more than what I asked for anyway. So I was just like, and then it got to a point where we'd have arguments and he'd be like, well, then cancel it if you don't care about the money. And I just feel like, no, when you get a promotion, I get a promotion.
Now.
Do you know what I mean? Like, when you get a pay rise, I get a pay rise. We ain't doing that. Like, this is till she's 18. She will be comfy. Do you know what I mean? Like, even if I don't need the money and I put it in the savings, like, she will be good, because I feel like, as a mum, like I said, like, I watched my mum do everything for me. And my dad's never... Where, again, my mum lived a really good life because of my nan and whatever. My dads were never on that same kind of level. So I feel like it wouldn't, like, this whole passport thing, it wouldn't have punished my dad by my mum being like, right, take his passport. First of all, it's not British, so... and second of all, like, the man So what difference would it make? Whereas I feel like if I lived with my dad, however, and my mum had her passport taken, that's a whole next thing. My mum would have been really screwed, you know what I mean? So I feel like it doesn't, this whole passport thing, I feel like it doesn't make sense in a way, because I feel like you should be like, okay, cool, you're not paying for your child, you see your child more, or you have to, do you know what I mean? There's more, because I just feel like, how does that help the child? Like, your dad takes your passport, cool, like, what now? Do you know what I mean?
Now what?
Because he's still just now going to be even more vexed that your passport's gone, so now it's going to be more animosity, more
and that's
headache.
usually what happens. Someone does something, it vexes the other, and then the other person just does something till they can get back.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Up
on
family
you.
attack.
Up on you, and then until somebody has to be the person that just says, because I'm not gonna lie to you, like, I literally don't want beef. Like, I don't want beef.
I ain't got time for it.
Do you know what I mean? Like you said, back in the day, it'd be like, cool, you're on it, I'm on it. You're on it, I'm on it.
I'm winning.
We can go all day until you get to a point where you've done it for so long that you're just like you said, it's not about them no more. It's not that my baby father suddenly become a wonderful person. No, you're still the same person. It's that I don't want it.
And
I
think
can't
as a
be
mum,
bothered.
you see it as well. Like, I always think, like, I have a good life. Like, my daughter has a good life. I'm really proud of all the things I've done now to like make sure we are where we are. Yeah. And then I look at what you're doing, and I just feel like it doesn't benefit me to be mad. Yeah. Like, I'm not. What am I mad about? Like, you're not doing anything more than what I'm doing. You're not living a better life than I'm living. Like, if anything, I wouldn't want to be in your position. Like, I have. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, any day I'm sad or down, I just look at my child and I'm like, this is what I'm doing it for. Do you know what I mean? This is my.
That's where we got to get to, though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that is it. I think when you get to a place where you're no longer, like I said at the beginning, when you're no longer wrapped up emotionally in them, whether that be not just because you want to be with them, but still emotionally attached, hurt, and not going through all that shit, you do entertain arguments. You do entertain little comments here and there. When you don't entertain something, you put it to bed.
Yeah.
You can only argue with another person that's arguing back. 100%. If you're not arguing no more, then there's no argument.
100%.
So
I feel like that's installed in me to lack an argument. Sometimes I get a bit of a thrill of it. Because I feel like, won that one. Moving on. I think that shut him up. Do you know what I mean?
That happens.
Yeah.
All right, ladies. Well, thank you so much for joining us on the show today. I really appreciate it. It was really good to hear your views and your insight.
I mean, we could do this like for hours.
I've
got so much more to say, but
we barely scratched the surface. But you know, much more to come. So appreciate you coming. And hopefully we'll have you on again soon.
Thanks for having us.
It was great.
Okay, guys, so I've been Shells, your host of the Baby Mothers podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. As I said, if there's anyone that wants to come on, we're looking for mums that want to share their experience, then please email us at @thebabymums and we'll get back to you. You'll see all the information in the description below, and we will catch you again next time.